So today's topic is Introduction to Value Engineering. Again, the topic which you can say that it is something very relevant, very pertinent to today's life. Value in usual term, you can say there is something which is important, something which is useful, something which is through which the need is going to be fulfilled. You can say it is value. Sometimes it is defined as future worth of all the future benefits, etc. And engineering, you know that when you are going to see in detail each and every aspect related to something, you are going to have this value engineering. So first of all, we will find out, or we will elaborate what the value is, then we will come to the aspect of this value engineering. How does it started? What was the reason for the beginning of this value engineering? It started around 1940 during the World War II, when there was a shortage of resources. Because of this war, it was not possible to get something which is required for manufacturing different types of things, maybe the components related to war or the components related to day-to-day life. Everything was scarce. There is shortage of everything was there. So engineers started, that is in General Electric company, people started thinking then in what way we can overcome this shortage. So from where you are going to have these things so that the needs of the people are going to be fulfilled, the product is going to be manufactured. So people started thinking in terms of finding out alternative ways of producing something. From where this value engineering started, that is, they kept in mind that the efficiency, the quality, the performance of the product is going to remain same, but the cost should not increase. You should come out alternative ways, you should come out different materials, you should come out different ways of manufacturing that component, but you have to keep in mind that the quality or the performance of the product should not be compromised. This is what the general introduction of this value engineering is. So let us start what the value is. What is value? That is you can define it, the lowest cost at which intended function with desired quality can be accomplished. Here the emphasis is lowest cost, intended function, and the desired quality. That is, the cost should be low, the desired function should be accomplished, and the performance should remain the same. Another definition, you can say the value of any service or product at the minimum cost of other similar alternatives. That is, you are going to have this value of the product, the value of any service. It is established by the minimum cost of the other similar alternatives. Again, what you are having, that the product is there at minimum cost in comparison to similar alternatives. Because when the cost is going to be low, only then you can be competitive from other alternatives which are available in the market. The third definition, you can say that it is value is increased by decreasing cost while keeping performance same. That is, when the customer is getting the product in the market at the lower cost, but the performance is same, but the quality is same, intended function is going to be fulfilled, and the cost is low, you can say it is the value. So value you can define in different ways, but when we talk about in the context of value engineering, what you have to keep in mind, that you have to reduce cost, but quality should not be compromised. This is the gist of the value engineering is. So you can have this value engineering as the methodical application of known techniques to deliver required functions of a product or service at lowest cost, keeping quality, performance and other specifications same. When we are going to have this value engineering, that is whatever methods are available, you can say analysis of the problem is there, you can say brainstorming is there, finding out of a suitable option is there, optimization is there. So these are the different techniques with which you can improve the performance of your product, keeping the cost at the lower end. So you can say that value engineering is the methodical application. You are applying the techniques of the engineering to get a good quality product at lowest cost. Another definition you can say, when you are going to concise, is an organized study of functions. That is, any product which you are manufacturing, it has some function, it has some functions. So function is for what? To satisfy the user needs. And user needs, how these are going to be satisfied? That you are going to get the quality product. The quality product, and the condition for is this, that it should have lowest life cycle cost. How are you going to get it? Through applied creativity, through brainstorming, through finding out different solutions of the problem, that how can it be done. So value engineering, you can have an organized study of the functions to satisfy users needs with a quality product at the lowest life cycle cost through applied creativity. That is, you keep on brainstorming, you keep on finding the solution for the problems, and you have to keep in mind that whatever process, whatever steps you are going to take, the quality of the product should not be compromised. Different value engineering objectives are there. First objective is to obtain cost saving. You are going to carry out this value engineering, that is, you are going to reduce the cost, enhance performance, because you are suggesting different ways, you are finding different ways, you are brainstorming different ways, you are coming out with different solutions, you are optimizing the resources, whatever, all in what, for what objective you are going to do? You are going to do for enhancing the performance of your product. So another objective is to enhance the performance of the product. Resource optimization, obviously resource optimization is also going to reduce the cost of your product. So again, the cost saving is going to be there. Coordination between consumers and producers. This is very, very important, because you are making the product, or you are providing the service for whom? For the consumer. And whatever is the need of the consumer, your products is supposed to fulfill that. And for fulfilling the requirement of the consumer, you should know what the customer wants. You have to add all these features, all the required characteristics in your product, so that the consumer is going to purchase your product, so to get his needs fulfilled, and therefore the coordination between consumers and producers is necessary. Value engineering you can define as, you can get the value maximum of a product when the performance is going to be maximum at the minimum cost. So the relationship between the cost and performance is that the value max is equal to performance max over cost minimum. That is, value of the product is going to be maximum when the performance of your product is going to be maximum, but at a lower cost. So this is the relationship between the cost and performance. Sometimes it is confused that value engineering is a cost reduction technique. No, it is not the cost reduction technique. It is the optimization of whatever is there, whatever resource is there, or come out with a product which is going to enhance the performance from the previous one, from the previous product. That is you are going to keep the quality same or increase. In no way it is going to come down. While in the case of cost reduction, you are doing that exercise in which you are not concerned with the quality, you are not concerned with the resource optimization, you are just concerned that in what way the cost is going to be reduced. So you can say that value engineering reduces cost but maintains quality, while cost reduction generally reduces quality. In value engineering, what it says, that is proper allocation of resources, while in cost reduction it is due to cost consideration. You are reducing the weight of the product, keeping in mind that when material is going to consume less, the cost is going to be less. But here in the case of value engineering, you are going to properly allocate the resource. That is, you are going to reduce the material not because the cost is going to reduce, but whatever amount is required, you are calculating that, you are finding out, you are using an alternative material in comparison to the existing one, so that the cost may be reduced, keeping the factors constant. That is, strength is going to remain the same, that is, the requirement of that material is going to remain the same. So you are properly allocating the resources, while in the case of cost reduction, you are just reducing the cost. Value engineering follows a set of rules and a formal methodology, while cost reduction is an informal one. As we have seen in the case of the definition of value engineering, you are using the techniques of engineering, that is, analyzing, problem solving, or brainstorming, coming out with different solutions, and then finding out a better one, etc. These are the different steps or the methodology required for value engineering. So when you are going to do this, you are going to have multidisciplinary team, while cost reduction consists of management people. Multidisciplinary team means that is, design people are going to be there, product development people are going to be there, and aesthetic people are going to be there. So value engineering is going to take into consideration all these aspects, while cost reduction is simply taking steps superficially so that the cost is somewhat going to reduce. While value engineering has follow-up and execution program, while cost reduction has no such provision, that whatever changes you are going to make in your product, you are going to take the feedback of that, you are going to follow up that in what way your product is performing, but no such thing is going to be there as far as this cost reduction is concerned. So there's a lot of difference as far as this value engineering and the cost reduction is concerned. What is the procedure of value analysis and value engineering? Value analysis or value engineering, both are the same things, and these are interchangeably used. That is, sometimes we are going to use value analysis, sometimes we are going to use value engineering. This is alternatively used, whether you are going to use value analysis or value engineering. What are the steps involved in this value engineering or value analysis? The five major steps you are going to take when you are going to design a product on the basis of this value engineering. That is, as usual, first is the information phase. What is the information phase? That is, the product is there, you are collecting each and every information related to your product. That is, what is the product, what for it is used, what type of problems are going to be there, why it is the problem, whether these problems are causing hindrance in the performance or they are not of much significance, what is the cost of it, how much cost is going to be associated with this, what is the performance of the customer, how the customer is behaving when the problem is going to occur in this. All the information related to the product you are going to collect. So in the case of information phase, you are collecting the information related to your product. That's why it is known as the information phase. Second is the speculation phase. The information is with you, then you are going to find out or speculate. That's why the second phase is the speculation phase. In this, you are going to utilize some sort of creativeness. That is, creativity is going to be utilized, and you are going to speculate on the function, speculate on the different functions which are associated with your product. And you are going to see that if you are going to incorporate different functions, what is the cost of that function when you are going to associate with that. So in the case of a speculation phase, whatever information you got in the first phase, all this information, in what way you can eliminate that, in what way you can address that, in what way the different innovative technologies or innovative methodology you can adopt, so that you can increase the value of your product. Third phase comes, that the analysis phase. In this analysis phase, what you are going to do, you are going to evaluate the different alternatives. From where you got these different alternatives, you have got the different alternatives from the speculation phase. That is, you have carried out brainstorming. You have found out that how many methods may be there to attack the problem, to solve the problem, or to provide the solution to the customer, which you have seen in your product earlier. That is, whatever information you have achieved in the information phase, the same you are going to address in the speculation phase. So in the speculation phase, you are going to have different type of solution, but in the case of analysis phase, you are finding out that the different solutions provided for the problem, in what way they are behaving. That is, what is the cost associated with that, what is the procedure involved for using that product, what process is going to be there, what cost is going to be involved, in what way that work is going to be carried out, whether the technology is going to be changed, how much money is going to be utilized. So you are going to have each and every aspect evaluated related to the different alternatives which are there, which you have found out in the case of speculation phase. You have to identify the different advantages, different disadvantages of various type of solution which you have proposed, because every method is having some sort of advantages, some sort of disadvantages, and you have to see that what is the cost of disadvantages, what is the cost related to disadvantages, and where you are going to compromise with that so that your product is going to perform well. After doing all this exercise, the next phase comes to the decision phase. That is, you are assessing with the departments, you are taking the views of the suppliers, dealers, you are then finding out the best alternatives. That is, as I have said just now, that there are the different processes involved for making different types of solutions related to that problem. So in what way you are going to achieve that, how much efforts are going to involve, how much money is going to be associated, what type of changes are going to be carried out, what if the material you are going to choose, whether the suppliers are going to provide that in a proper way, or the proper material is going to be there, what is the cost associated with that, how much time is going to involve in getting that, etc., etc. So related to those solutions which you have provided in the case of analysis phase, then you are deciding that which solution is going to be the optimum one under the given conditions. So that in the case of decision phase, you are collecting information related to each and every aspect of the alternative solutions which have been proposed in the case of analysis phase, and then you are going to decide that about one method which you can select, that using this method you can improve the quality of your product. This is what the evaluation phase. Once you have decided that the product you have going to utilize this specific method, then you are going to evaluate, that is usefulness, use experience, use providing feedback, etc., etc., that you have made your product, you are going to inspect that, you are going to audit the usefulness of that, you are going to get the information from the customer, that is in what way this product is behaving, this product is performing. You are going to utilize experience of people to evaluate this, and then you are going to see that whether the product you have manufactured from the new method is at the expectation of the customer, is performing as per the desired customer needs, that what the customer wants. You have actually incorporated all these things, and the product is perfectly in line with what the customer wants. This procedure is adopted in the case of value engineering: information phase, speculation phase, analysis phase, decision phase, and the evaluation phase. Function. As we know that whatever product we are going to have, it has some function, it has some use, it has some value. That's why we are purchasing it. Otherwise, if it is not having any function, what for we are going to purchase it? There is no point in purchasing it. So function, you can say intended use of a product, what for it is the product is going to be used. Another thing, a feature making products service have value, determined on the basis of need, finding innovative way of satisfying need. Primary functions determine value and make it competitive. That is, you can have the two types of functions: primary functions and secondary functions. Primary functions means that is the functions for which the product has been made. Secondary function is this, that some additional features you have incorporated to make your product competitive, to give the customer a choice that he can, apart from the required function, he can do another function from this product, and so the acceptability of the product is going to be enhanced. So this you can say, just an example you can say that in the case of tools you have seen, for example, or you can say in the case of mobile, the basic function of the mobile is to receive phone or receive calls, to send messages. This is the major function of that. But a calculator has also been provided, a stopwatch has also been provided, some say dictionary is also there, and other things are also going to be there. So primary function is to receive calls, send messages, you can say internet surfing, but some other say calendar is there. These are going to have this secondary function. So these functions have been added to increase the value of the product. Function analysis. So how can you have this function analysis? This is the principal component in value engineering, because this is the product. In a product, the function is the important thing, what for it is going to be used. So you have to have this as a principal component in the case of value engineering. So when you are going to have analysis, it means you are going to understand the problem. So this is the key to understanding the problem. That is what the function analysis is going to carry out. You are going to find out the mission of the product, that is what for the product is going to be used, what for the service is going to be provided. So you are going to split your product into different functions, and then again the same procedure, the brainstorming of all possible functions is going to be there. If you are going to incorporate this function, what is the cost going to be added in that? If you are going to reduce that, what disadvantage is going to be there? In what way the customer is going to react if this particular aspect is going to miss? So you are going to have all possible function. Brainstorming is to be done to get these all possible functions, find out their merits and find out their usability, and then you have to tell what is to be done and not how to be done. There is a difference between the two. What is to be done, that is, you say your product should contain so many things, your product should be able to satisfy the need of the customer. But how to be done, this is not your job. You have said that these are the requirements, and let the other people, the product development people, the design people, or engineers are going to decide in what way that is going to be carried out. And you see that show the dependencies among functions, that is which function is dependent upon which function. So this function analysis is going to be a very important and going to play a key role when the value engineering is going to be carried out. So with this you can say that value engineering can be used in any sphere of engineering. If it is going to be construction, again you can use value engineering. If it is designing a product, again it is the function analysis you can carry out. So from everywhere you can utilize the principles of value engineering to improve your product, to enhance the performance of your product, to be competitive in the market. For that we have a fast diagram. That is, fast diagram is what? It is function analysis system technique. This is known as the fast diagram, and this fast diagram defines that in what way the working of a system is going to be carried out. So you are graphically representing about your product, that what the product is, what are the functions, which function is going to be kept in the primary category, which function is going to be kept in the secondary category, what functions can be eliminated, what functions are going to add in the cost of the product but not having much acceptability. So each and every information related to fast diagram is going to be given. So in this case you are having describe scope of the analysis. Second is distribute parts in smaller components, because when you are going to distribute parts or split parts in the smaller components, then you would be able to know a real picture that in what way these components are going to have an effect on the performance of the product, on the quality of the product, and in what way they are increasing the cost of the product. So this fast diagram is also giving you the list of functions. It is listing clearly that what are the functions for a specific part. Then you are going to have that how, why and when. These questions you are going to ask. On the basis of that you are building a fast diagram. After that you are determining critical path of the function. That is in what way the fast diagram is going to be there. You see this, that the question of how, why and when you are going to have this higher order functions you are going to see on the left side, while lower order functions you are going to see on the right side. So you are having design objectives, you are having time functions, primary functions is going to have an important place. So primary functions are a must. So primary functions, the first priority is going to be there. Then some secondary functions are there, another secondary function is there. Then depending upon the requirement, depending upon the cost, depending upon the acceptability, depending upon the requirement of the customer, depending upon the quality, depending upon users need, a large number of things are there. On the basis of these you are going to incorporate secondary functions in your product, and that's why this fast diagram you are going to draw, and you can see that in what way these things are going to be represented, so that when your product is going to be designed by the design people or by the product development people, they are knowing that what is the scenario, that what are the primary functions to be incorporated, what are the secondary functions to be incorporated. All these are going to be there. Just for example of this, well, in the case of pencil, sometimes you have seen that eraser is also marked on the top of that. So you have, what you have done, you have combined two things. That is, the basic function is draw the pencil. The use of the pencil is the to draw a line or to draw a diagram. So this is the basic function. So this is going to be the primary function, but you have added the eraser in that. That is going to be the secondary function in this. In the case of phone, just I have said, the basic function is the related to call, etc. You have added calendar, you have added a stopwatch, you have added say alarm. Many things you have added in that. So these are going to be the secondary functions. So based on this, you are going to analyze the product, you are going to categorize what are the different primary functions, what are the secondary functions, and on the basis of that, this fast diagram, the product is going to be defined and going to be designed. So you can say, on the basis of that, you can say that the applications of value engineering, it is a problem solving method. Problem solving is that whatever problem is going to be there, means whatever the customer requirements are there, or what is the improvement, how you are going to take into consideration, everything you are going to solve on the basis of this value engineering. Can be applied to any project, just now I have said, can be initiated at any stage of design process. It is not the case that you have to start with this, but if at the in between you think that this step is going to be done in a different way, then you can initiate at that point also. So this is the added advantage for this. So again, it is going to enhance the quality of the product, the performance of the product, or you can enhance the specificity of that problem. Can be used to develop design norms. So if your process or if your design steps are going to be perfect, on the basis of that you can develop design norms, and you can say that the product, if it is going to be designed, if it is going to be done, if it is going to be produced in such a manner, then these design norms can be useful for the manufacturer. So if you are going to take into considerations all these aspects, the product quality is going to be increased. The thing is this, that in the case of value engineering, what is there, it is the lowest cost with keeping the quality same or enhanced, and suggesting alternative ways so that your product is performing well ahead of the customer. It is the value for money, and all other things are going to be incorporated, keeping in mind that what the customer wants. Thank you.